A leading German MEP has launched a scathing rant on Angela Merkel's conduct during Brexit negotiations, claiming that the German leader has been deliberately making Britain's exit from the EU as difficult as possible. German MEP Jugmuthen skewered Angela Merkel and other EU establishment figures for trying to divide the UK during Brexit talks. Speaking in the European Parliament earlier this week, the German politician was left astonished by Mrs. Merkel's hostility towards the UK. Mr. Methuen, a German economist serving in the Alternative for Germany party, AfD, called on EU leaders to be honest about their attempts to stop the UK from leaving the bloc and being behind the chaos of Brexit. In a fierce rant, Mr. Muthen backed Brexiteers' fury towards the EU with the Brexit deadline just 2.5 weeks away. He took issue with the conversation between Boris Johnson and Mrs. Merkel earlier this week, where the German Chancellor said a deal was essentially impossible. The MEP said, "I am somewhat disappointed by what was said concerning the conversation between Merkel and Johnson. I heard Merkel said that the UK can leave if Northern Ireland is left for eternity in the customs union." He added, "So basically Merkel would like to divide the UK. She wants to create a disunited kingdom. I find that approach absolutely appalling, particularly for Merkel who grew up in a divided country. I would say, how dare you? We know that no deal is possible if you are going to undermine the independence of the UK. Maybe you should look at the border between Norway and Sweden. That is possible during negotiations. Or extend Article 50. But before that, let us be honest, and let us accept that EU institutions are doing everything they can to stop the UK from leaving the EU. We are actually pointing the finger at the UK and blaming them. If the UK kowtows to the EU's demands, there won't be an orderly exit, I have to say. Once they do leave, it will be a liberation for them." Angela Merkel set to meet with her French counterpart Emmanuel Macron later today, ahead of the crucial EU summit on Brexit. Mr. Johnson is expected to speak with Mrs. Merkel, Mr. Macron and the European Commission President, Jean-Claude Juncker, in the next 2 days. The Prime Minister will offer the three leaders the option to either help him deliver a new deal this week or agree on a friendly version of a no-deal Brexit by the 31st of October. According to the Sunday Times, a European Union source said the chances of a deal at Thursday's EU summit in Brussels were 50-50.